In this video, we're going to look at the 1988 Toyota MR2 and the 1990 Peugeot 205 GTI 1.9, which were the first two cars featured in Series 2 of Wheeler Dealers. And stick around to the end because we've got some info to update one of the cars we featured in our first two videos. Before I go any further, I want to thank every one of you that's hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it, and also really for those comments as well, so please keep it up. So first off, we have a 1988 MR2 which was featured in the episodes 1 and 2 of Series 2. Now just remember, back then there were 2 episodes per car, and in Series 2 the budget to buy and restore a car was £2,000. So Mike went and found this Part X car, this Toyota MR2, in a dealer friend of his, and it had some obvious problems. It had an odd wheel on it, it had some rust, it had some charging problems. So Mike just paid the knockdown price of that of just £500. Now once back in the workshop, Ed got onto it. He gave the engine the service and replaced that alternator. They had to replace the windscreen because it had a crack in it. The ignition key that came with it was in fact a screwdriver, of all things. So obviously Ed had to replace that, and also the damaged boot lock. The exhaust back box required a replacement, and Ed put in a lot of work to the wheels on this one, because they should have had a polish finish with little black areas round the holes. And for some reason, Ed seems to have done it on a farm, but who knows. Now, cost-wise on this one, as we said, Mike bought this for £500. The repairs themselves cost £778, and Mike managed to sell this car on for £1,900. So that gave them a profit of £622. So how does this compare to 2023, do we ask? So condition 1 in Practical Classics, and before I go any further, I knew this was going to be a contentious issue as to how I value these cars, and we've had a few comments. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to point out exactly what they say in Practical Classics, which is my benchmark for condition 1 and condition 2 cars. Now condition 1 is well presented with no obvious faults, and condition 2 is a car that's capable of regular use. It's MOT'd but may well need work. Now my argument is, and because it's my channel I win, is that these cars were presented as though they had no faults. How they actually were, we can't go back in time and find out. Obviously everyone's got their own opinion, but for now we're going to stick with condition 1, unless for some reason the car in particular didn't have an MOT or something like that. So going back to that, condition 1 in 2023 of a Mark 1 MR2 is £6,000. So that's a value increase of £4,100. Now what you're asking is, what's happened to that car? Well, this one's got a little bit of an interesting story, because I found on the International MR2 Owners Club UK, I did have to memorise that one, a post that was from somebody who had actually owned that car, and it was quite interesting that they said the buyer on the programme, and sorry, this is going to be a bit like me telling you Father Christmas doesn't exist, was actually a fake one, and they had brought it from Discovery Channel through Auto Trader. They had the car for a year or so, but a few problems occurred, and eventually the following year, 2005, so a year after the programme, they actually had to sell it on. So if we use the government site as a baseline, this car got MOT'd in 2009, 2010 and 2011. It then obviously expired its 2011 MOT in 2012, and the reason for that is it had some quite significant corrosion. So it doesn't reappear on the database anymore. It doesn't show any suggestion that it's been destroyed. However, and of course I'm relying on what I can find on the forums and so on, is that somewhere between 2012 and 2015, there's a post here from somebody, again on the International MR2 Owners Club, that they said they purchased that car, and unfortunately because of the amount of rust, they actually broke it for spares. So of course it may just be that DVLA records have been or haven't been updated because it hasn't been given a certificate of destruction. So again, I think this is one of these on Wheeler Dealers that has been scrapped. So before I go on to the last car, I've got a quick request for a bit of help. Now, it has been commented we could get more information by buying into one of the various online information on car history. But there's so many out there, and obviously we're going to need to be doing an awful lot of cars, and particularly older ones. So please, in the comments, from your experience, can you suggest the best ones for us to go for? Because obviously the DVLA site and internet hunting does so much for us, but it'd be good if we could add another string to the bow. So, you know, I know there's some out there that can tell you whether they've got a parking ticket outstanding in Albania, and that's not really what we need. We just need some sort of basic information on cars. So if you can help, please do. Let's move on to the next car, and that's a 1990 Peugeot 205 GTI 1.9. And as we all know, that is a very sought after car in 2023. Now Mike went a little bit of a different route, and a very old school route really, to find this car, and that was he sourced it for a newspaper ad. And let's be honest, there's a lot of younger viewers out there that concept wouldn't even occur to them. Now, when they got this back to the workshop, they needed to sort out the gear linkage because that was all a bit sloppy. The exhaust needed replacing front to back. The trim of bumpers, you know, on the GTI they had the plastic arch over the edge of the wheel arches on that. They'd all got faded, so they replaced the whole lot, including the bumpers. Those sort of 90s French plastics were not the best for holding their own colour. They replaced the lights front and back as well for the same reason they'd faded. They gave the engine a service, a couple of items needed replacing. And the other thing that they did was sort out the rear suspension. It was torsion bar, and the suspension arms needed resetting at the right angle because it had been adjusted to make it look lowered. Now, this episode came out back in August 2004, so these are the prices back then. The purchase cost was £1,000, and on the repairs, which for me, even in 2023, looking back, doesn't seem a lot of money, £653 considering the number of parts they replaced. They sold that, and for anyone who knows the value of these cars nowadays, for a heartbreaking £2,200. So that gave them a profit of £547. Now, going back to my condition one, Practical Classics, that is £12,000. So that's a increase from 2004 to 2023 of £9,800. Now, what happened to this car after the show? This is quite a story, and I think there's more out there. So if you do, you know, please do get in touch and, you know, drop us a comment. One of the go-to places for this, which a lot of the internet directed me to, was the 205 GTI Drivers Forum. But I think it's a bit of a touchy subject on there from what I can read. If I'm wrong, please guys get in touch and tell us more. But that car, according to a post on the 306 GTI forum, it wasn't purchased by the lady that we see in the film. It was actually brought by somebody off the 205 GTI Drivers Forum. Now, it may have gone through a few hands, but one person that I believe owned it at one point was someone called Baz, who I think, or I believe, did a lot of work on it. At that time, which I'm guessing is around about 2007, 2008, it went through the MOTs with about 139,000 miles on it. It then went quiet. There was an advert for it on piston heads, allegedly, according to a post on there, in September 2008. So it then didn't reappear for MOT until April 2011. Now, the reason this popped up on my radar is on the the GTI 6 and Rally forum. This is all becoming a bit Monty Python, really, isn't it, with all these different forums. Somebody called Zamish had posted that his friend owned the car, but it was currently being repaired, and the reason it was being repaired is there'd been an attempted theft, and the owner had been knocked down by the car, and he was in hospital, and the car had actually been abandoned after being spun into a tree. Now, I've only one post on this, so if anybody can corroborate that information, that would be fantastic. But the interesting thing I noticed, I mentioned the mileage MOT previously was 139,000. The April 11 MOT had 47,000 miles. There seems to be a discrepancy there somewhere along the line. Now, the car then, according to the 205 GTI forum, reappeared on eBay in 2012, and then it goes quiet. I can't find anything about it after then, until recently. And we've got one that has got to be alive. Look at this. 13th of October 2023, change of V5C, or new V5C was issued. So this car is alive, so it's out there. So if anybody knows where this is, please, please do get in touch. So I promised you an update from one of the cars featured in our first two videos, and it's the Ford Capri. And what the update is, and you know, you're not going to be overly surprised from what we're starting to find out from information that I've had from DIY Dave, Artful Bodger and Daniel Ball. They've all come back with the same sort of corroborating information that the buyer for that Ford Capri, the lady that you see in the show, wasn't actually a real buyer for it. And this explains why the car was actually out of tax before the program even started. And it's believed TV production times pushed them into creating a finish for that particular show, and that's why the car disappeared, because it wasn't even actually sold, it was just scrapped. But if you want to find out what's happening with more of the cars, please, please hit that subscribe button, because we're gradually building a database of information we can find on all of them, and hopefully we're going to find some of the cars and maybe even talk to some of the owners. Wouldn't that be fantastic?